Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about another major upcoming snowstorm. I know, I can't believe it either, but there is another major snowstorm on the way. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, which state do you think could be the most impacted by this one? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, one thing I do want to note here is we're going to take a look at the snowfall that has occurred with our first snowstorm that we talked about, and that was the one that occurred. It's still occurring basically throughout the day today, but yesterday and the day before. And as you can see, we have plenty of those pinks going on, and that's where we're at 6 to 12 inches of snow. And then those reds there for New Hampshire and Massachusetts and even down through Connecticut, that's where we're at 12 inches plus. So we did end up getting those 12 to 24 inch amounts, pretty widespread throughout the hilly regions of central Massachusetts and through portions of southwestern New Hampshire. And I would say that's a pretty major event here for mid-April. Very, very interesting and very significant snowfall event that we saw up there for New England. Now let's start talking about our upcoming snowstorm, but I need to talk about the temperatures that are going to be in place first off. Look at this. By the time we're taking a look at the 21st, 4 days from now, we're going to see a massive Arctic invasion. I talked about this in yesterday's video. I'm going to put a tab at the top right where you can click that and check that out if you're curious, but the temperature pattern coming up is very extreme. We're going to see significantly far below normal temperatures move in, and that's what's going to allow for this snowstorm to take place. Anywhere in those blues in the middle there with some magentas, that's where we're 15 to 32 degrees below normal. That is significant. And this is going to be around still by the 27th, so this is going to be a very long-lived cool down here that we're going to be dealing with. Let's just get right into our simulated radar. And first things first, we're going to take a look at that European model. You can see our first snowstorm moving out here. This is by about 2 a.m. this morning. This is a little bit before I'm making this video, obviously. But we had a 993 millibar low pressure center offshore of Massachusetts. Still seeing snowfall for New Hampshire and Maine, especially there. But by the time we reach about 8 p.m. tonight, that should have fully moved out. We should see no more snow from that, or really any precipitation around the United States any longer from that one. And we get kind of quiet for a little bit. But by the time we're reaching 2 p.m. tomorrow on Sunday, April 18th, look at that. Another snowstorm is moving in. And look, it's all the way by Montana and North Dakota there, so it's way far west. And this one is going to just entirely cross the United States. This thing is going to be massive. It's going to be very long tracked. It's just going to move from the Rockies all the way across the plains, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast, just impacting so many states on its way across the United States. It's going to be a very impactful situation, much more major than our previous snowstorm, so we're just in a snowstorm pattern for sure here. Let's just take this towards about maybe 5 a.m. there on Monday, and as you can see, we have moderate to heavy snowfall in the United States. Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, they're seeing major snowfall, very heavy snowfall here by this point. And then by the time we reach about 2 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 20th, you can tell that we have very significant snowfall coming down for Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska, coming down very heavily there, and they've been seeing some snowfall throughout April. That's very typical, so this is not what, this isn't the rare event. It's as it moves further east from here that things get a little interesting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards where things do get interesting in just a moment. All right, now by the time we're taking a look at about 3 p.m. or so here on Tuesday, April 20th, just a few days from now, we see a major snowstorm here impacting Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, including Chicago there, Wisconsin, northern Indiana, and even in through Michigan. So a very significant snowfall event taking place here that is extremely rare here for the plains, the upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes regions, even the Ohio Valley here. By the time we reach about 5 a.m. here on Wednesday, April 21st, you can tell that we have that moderate to heavy snowfall still occurring, but now for Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio as well there. Very interesting. And you can tell we just have a massive trough as well right behind this thing, and that is what is fueling the cold air that is allowing for this snowstorm to even be possible here. Very significant cold air. Let's just zoom into the Ohio Valley here, and as you can see, it's about 2 p.m. on Wednesday here by the time we're taking a look at this frame, and you can see areas in Michigan are seeing significant snowfall. We're still seeing snow showers for some of those other Ohio Valley states as well, including Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and we have a 998 millibar low pressure center just to the west of the Finger Lakes regions there in New York. Extremely interesting situation. And by the time we reach about 2 a.m. here on Thursday, April 22nd, you can see that we have a 993 millibar low pressure center located over New Hampshire. And we're seeing snowfall just to the west of it. Adirondacks, Green Mountains, Berkshires, again, round 2. We're seeing another snowfall event for you guys. Even some lake effect snow possibly coming down here for Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. So this is going to be an overall very, very interesting situation we're going to find ourselves in. And even by the time we reach about 2 p.m. here on Thursday, April 22nd, you can tell that snowfall has become a little bit more widespread for New York. Even still the Green Mountains and portions of New Hampshire and New York and Maine seeing some snowfall here by this point. A 988 millibar low pressure center in between Canada and Maine. Very, very interesting. And then by the time we reach about 2 a.m. here on Friday, April 23rd, you can tell that snowfall is still pretty widespread for New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and even Maine. We're pretty far out, but the interesting thing is as we're about to move forward, you're going to see that all of these models pretty much agree on all of these keynotes. And it's actually striking how much similarities we see and how much agreement we're seeing from all three of the deterministic models. I made a Patreon post this morning going in depth with that, so if you'd like to join our Patreon page and gain access to that, it's only $3 to join. You can check that out in the description and in the pinned comment, and join today and get access to those posts. Usually I make a post for every single video, like I'll make a complimentary post that kind of really complements the video, so it goes hand in hand. So I do recommend it pretty much to everybody, but I understand that most people can't afford to have a monthly payment like that. But if you can and if you want to, feel free to do that. I think it's really awesome to be able to provide extra content to you guys over there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at what the GFS has to say. And again, I think it's strikingly similar. So here we are taking a look at the GFS model, and as you can see, it starts out the same exact way. We see that snowstorm diving into Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, South Dakota, Nebraska. Same exact thing as the European model. This is at about 5 a.m. here on Monday, April 19th there. By the time we reach about Tuesday, this is going to be Tuesday morning time frame, maybe 11 a.m. or so on Tuesday, April 20th. You can tell there is some differences. This dives down a little bit further south into Oklahoma with that very heavy snowfall actually there for Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, and through Illinois. So it's a little bit further south. You can tell the massive trough is just shoving this thing further south. And then by the time we're reaching approximately 11 p.m. here on Tuesday, April 20th, you can tell that we have that moderate to heavy snowfall going on for Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio. A little bit different there. It kind of misses Chicago in this one, and it's just a little bit further southeast. The GFS does have a southeast bias, so what we will end up seeing usually is the European model will be a little bit further northwest, and the GFS just likes to take everything way too far southeast, and eventually we might see this actually regress a little bit more towards what the European model is showing. That is a very common occurrence here with these models. It's important to understand these biases that these models have if you're looking to forecast the weather, because it helps so much. When you see the GFS calling for something and it looks like it's way further southeast than any of the other models, there's a really good chance that it's actually going to end up coming back northwest, trend northwest over the coming runs. So we're going to be watching for that as I update this storm for multiple days in a row coming up. We're going to watch for that very closely. You can see that here by about 6 a.m. or 7 or 8 a.m. or maybe even 8 a.m. here on Wednesday, April 21st, we do see Cleveland, Ohio getting significantly impacted by this snowfall event. A lot of Ohio is with the very heavy snowfall, even eastern Michigan as well, and even northern Pennsylvania near Erie as well. We have a 999 millibar low pressure center bringing very heavy snowfall as it tracks across the United States here, eventually moving up and causing some snowfall for New England and I guess the interior Northeast in general as well. Let's just take a look at the Canadian model now, and as you can see, we do see that heavy snowfall ongoing here for Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota. Just like the GFS and the European model, the Canadian model you will see actually, in my opinion, it looks a lot more like the European model. So, like I said earlier, I think a southeast bias is going on with the GFS model. By the time we reach about 8 a.m. or so here on Tuesday, April 20th, we can see that there is some heavy snowfall ongoing for Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, even some surrounding states there by that point. And by the time we're reaching about 8 a.m. on Wednesday, look at that. It's much further northwest than the GFS model, just like the European model, showing mostly Indiana, Michigan, and then even before this frame, it was showing Chicago getting hit as well, just like the European model. Much further northwest than the GFS model, just like the European model. And this one does eventually move up into the northeast, just like all the other models, causing snowfall for those New England states. Now let's get into the total snowfall maps according to all three of these models. So first off, the European model, all I'm going to do is break down the amounts. There's too much going on here, but there's two areas that are highlighted in each of these models. The Rockies, obviously, and then that area from Illinois and through Indiana up through Michigan. So if you're anywhere in the grays, we're taking a look at about a dusting, if anything. Within the blues, 2 to 6. Within the purples, 6 to 10. And then within the pinks, 10 to 20. And then you can see some of those teal colors there for the Rockies in some spots. That's where we're at 20 inches plus. So the two bullseyes, like I said, is there in the pinks for Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and then one there for the Rockies as well. So the GFS, you can tell, has a southeast bias here. We've just switched it, and you can tell that it's a lot further southeast with most of that snowfall, except for the Rockies, because obviously you can't move the mountains. So if it's dictated by the mountains, it will not have a southeast bias. But when it's just flat land, that's when you will see a large difference here with the GFS. So we do see those large amounts there for the Rockies, and it really just does not have as much snowfall for the Great Lakes at all. But as we take a look here at our Canadian model, you can tell this one is back basically showing exactly what the European model is showing. 10 inches plus here for Michigan, possibly Indiana, possibly Illinois as well, and then obviously the Rockies. So yeah, major snowstorm coming up. What's my confidence at? Well, the models actually agree pretty well. The GFS has that southeast bias, but once you kind of subtract that southeast bias, I mean, they really all look very similar. So I'm going to go with a 4 out of 6 here. If this was a little bit closer, like 1 or 2 days closer, I'd be at a 5 or a 6, but this is a little bit further out, so I could see a major trend in any direction here from all of the models together, but as of right now, my confidence is surprisingly high for how far out it is. Now, for today's comment of the day, I don't know how to say your name at all, so I'm not even going to attempt it, but if you want to let me know in the comments how to pronounce what your username is, I'd be happy to do that if I ever pick you for the comment of the day again. But I asked you guys, when do you think a big warm-up is going to come and end this Arctic blast? And he or she said probably in the beginning of May, it will definitely warm up. And I think that May 1st timeframe is what I'm watching for as well, based on the teleconnections. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons. Property Damage, John Bennick, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Palemo, Adam S., Lyra the Pan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Alan Cherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalesa, Michael Buell, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Falego, Gary's, and John Quilisi. If you would like to be a part of this Patreon screen of the day and gain access to our very awesome posts that I mentioned earlier, you can do so by joining that Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below, alongside our channel members here, where you can join this next to that subscribe button. I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our Weather Top Dog Hair Farms 1, and then our super fan, Phoenix Nimitz. Again, if you'd like to join this, it's next to that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe for more weather-related content, and I will see you guys in the next video.